Prepare for a fusion of knowledge and exhilaration where education and excitement collide.
Taking you on an adventure that expands your mind and speaks to your spirit.
I'm Master Nick.
I'm Lady Dee.
We are the Dom Life.
This podcast contains sexually explicit topics and adult content.
It is intended for listeners 18 and older.
The opinions expressed in this podcast are ours alone, based on our personal thoughts, feelings, and experiences.
We understand that others may have different opinions and experiences, and we respect that. We would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at www.thedomlife.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to part 2 of our Brat episode.
I'm so excited to be here for this part. I'm just saying, I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I even wore a very special collar.
Yeah.
It says evil on one side, and then it's pink and pretty on the other side. It kind of defines me sometimes.
Most of the time.
Not most of the time. You already told everybody I'm a good girl. I heard that. I want it on repeat over and over.
I forgot to take that out whenever I edited.
So I am not, but this was one that I actually made for an event.
Yes, it was.
For a Halloween event, and here we have it.
Yep.
So I figured as a Brat Day, it's the perfect opportunity to wear it.
Yep. I do got to say, by doing this episode, like we've done it last week, we got to finish it up this week. It has sparked a lot of conversation between us. And I kind of got to go back on what I said last week about you being a good girl, because it seems like this week you have been like wanting to figure out how to brat.
It's because we did an episode on it.
Yeah.
It interests me that it interests you.
Yep.
And so here I was being just a very good girl for so long that I decided it was time to turn the tables.
Yep. And that you have done.
I have, but I have not had any punishments yet because my body cannot take any physical punishments. And I've already been under mental punishment for 6 months.
Keep thinking that.
You're just tallying it up.
I see a cold shower in your future.
Damn it. No, my body doesn't like cold.
Oh, it sucks. I know. I'm sorry. Boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. So.
All right. Yep. Let's get back into this episode. We'll finish this up. We left off. We were going to talk about correction and accountability. So like for when a brat pushes too far, obviously there is punishments. Those punishments can be physical. They can be mental. They can be anything of the imagination. And I would like to go back from last week, the level 1, level 2, level 3. And again, it depends on your dynamic as well. If you're a dom and you enjoy the bratting, then the first time they brat shouldn't be an extreme punishment. It should be more of a punishment, more of a back and forth playful thing, writing lines, or maybe a corner time, or maybe kneeling in silence, those kind of things. Nothing real extreme, nothing, that wouldn't hurt them in any significant way.
Right, because you're looking for that interaction.
Right.
If you overcorrect, I'm going to stop it completely.
You're going to stop completely.
Now, a cold shower is not overcorrecting.
It's been a long time coming is what that's been.
No.
Yes.
No, sir.
But again,
Good girl, heard it.
It is good to have all of this laid out in negotiations. And it is good to have, a few punishments available. Again, occasionally I like to just pull from the back pocket, depending on spur of the moment, what's going on. I like to be a little creative with punishments. I don't like doing the same punishment over and over again. Spankings is always a good one. You can limit how hard the spankings are.
Right.
You could start off soft and playful and then turn it into, leaving a handprint or welts or possibly bruises.
And if your submissive really enjoys that, then you give them a spanking and withhold an orgasm.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like fun either.
Duly noted.
if they really enjoy it, then they're getting into the spanking,
Yep.
and then you don't
Yeah.
get to go anywhere from there.
Yep. It stops.
Now, if you're a spankos, it wouldn't matter. It's just the spanking that you enjoy.
Yep. All right. So from a sub perspective, what do you think?
I think healthy. What we discussed was healthy correction feels grounding. So I believe that sometimes when I'm poking the bear, it is to get you to increase your level of domness.
Mm-hmm.
Because in our daily life, we can't have that there all the time. You still have your respect. You still have your general steadiness. You have all the things that make you a dom, but your actual level of being a dominant to me is in the background.
Right.
Because life is just running the way it runs.
Right.
And then once I start poking you, I think that by you doing a corrective action or amping that up, I'm getting my need met again.
Right.
Even if we're not doing something in addition, even if all you do is look at me and give me that look, I'm like, okay, my dom is still there.
Right.
And so it does feel grounding. It does feel like a safe place to know that you're reacting the way I expect you to react. If you didn't and you walked away, I'd be like, well,
Right.
he's kind of backed down. Are we out of the dynamic? What is going on?
Right. What kind of mood am I in? You
Yeah.
know, what's bothering me? What's eating at me? You know.
Yes, there
Yep.
would be a lot of concerns if you didn't. So for the submissive, when you correct me, it feels like you've brought me back to my safe place and it's grounding.
Right.
How about from a dom's
So
perspective?
from a dom perspective, correction should reinforce structure, not your ego. Talking to you at home, not your ego. Again, BDSM is built on structure, built on a foundation, communication, all of that is built. So by enforcing this, by having the guidelines, by having the structure, it allows you both to feel grounded. It allows a safe place for both of you to exist and to play in.
Yes.
So that's the way I look at it.
I think from a relationship aspect. Now, bratting from a relationship aspect can be a little bit different. And what I'm saying is it's just like a DS relationship. We're married, we live in the same house, we do the same things. You sometimes worry how far that line you can push.
Right.
Based on the fact that I'm married to you. Now,
Right.
you have 100% control, but how far are you really going to push me
Right.
in this? I think if it's just a DS dynamic that doesn't have additional relationships and somebody is bratting, I think that the punishments would be different. I think the relationship would be different. I think that within this context, me bratting would be different than, say, somebody outside of our relationship bratting.
I agree.
Because there's a limited interaction versus every
Right.
day. If I bratted as a sub, if my go-to was bratting
Right.
and we lived together, at what point?
It would become a lot.
Right. Like, and again, people grow together or grow
Right.
apart. But
Right.
if you're growing together, like
Right.
we've done, we're not anywhere close to where we were when we met.
Correct.
Who we are, where we're at
And
in the DS.
And if I think that if it was done, if you had a 100% pure brat, and like me, who is inexperienced dealing with brats, if it's done the right way, if the foundation is there and the
Boundaries are set up.
boundaries are set and the communication lines are always open and you always feel comfortable and safe to discuss your issues, I feel that you would eventually grow together.
Where both of your likes kind of
Right.
start lining up better than in the beginning.
Where the brat is getting exactly what they're needing out of it. They're not getting punished in the wrong way. They're not, it would be a growing opportunity for both of them. And I see that you could mesh that and find the happy medium to where the Dom is comfortable and able to do what he needs to do, and the brat still gets out of it what they're looking to get out of it, and it be a safe and consensual environment.
I think that's all DS
Yeah,
relationships, but I
absolutely.
think with bratting, it's a little bit more intentional that you
Right.
have to create that environment.
Right.
Because it can go wrong.
Yeah, I
And
can
I
see
mean,
it
it
going
could
very
go
wrong.
wrong where your ego then becomes involved
Right.
and you're doling out punishments that are inappropriate, not at the right timing, or done with
Right.
anger.
Yep.
So I like being a little bit of a brat, but
Mhm.
a bratting situation. And I think that depending on how you relate as a submissive, maybe if you're a little, your bratting may get you in more trouble
Right.
because it's the development age in your mind where you're bratting.
Right. I can see
I
that.
just poke the bear.
Yeah, you just poked the bear.
I just poke the bear.
But going back to what you was saying a while ago, and it sparked a mental note in me, about where we're living together, we're married, trying to navigate life as a married couple and in DS, and how I'm a little hesitant sometimes about how far I can push. So spoiler alert, we had our friends Sir Dante and Zora over last night, and we did some recording with them. So we've
Yes.
got a couple of really good episodes coming up.
Separate, though. We didn't do it all
Yep.
together.
We've got the submissive stories coming back. We've got the Dom discussions coming back. But while you subbies were in here recording, me and Sir Dante was out talking, and that was one of the common grounds that we have. He feels the same way that I do when it comes to living with your sub versus having a dynamic that you're not seeing every day or that you're not living with. And although I've always said it, when it comes to his contract, his rules, his punishments, he is a lot more stricter and he is a lot more black and white, where I do have a little bit of gray area in me. But that was one common ground that we both agreed on, that understanding that this is the person we have to live with in the same house, that sometimes you're a little hesitant about pushing
Right,
that a
because
little
if
bit
you
further.
push somebody that left, you'd still check up on them. You'd still be interacting with
Right.
them, depending on the dynamic you have set up. But you're not dealing with repercussions in
Right.
your home, like your laundry turns all pink and the
Or 3
dishes don't
sizes
get
too
done
small.
and your food is burnt.
Right.
I'm just saying, I
Right.
mean, at least, okay, this is our dynamic. We recognize that not all of you have a female as the submissive doing all the responsible things. Again, everybody's dynamic and world is different. But for us,
Right.
some pink clothing might occur.
Right.
Yep.
All right. So getting back onto subject here, that was just a little.
But it was about bratting
little
and
side
or
note. Yeah,
pushing.
it was about
and,
pushing.
Yeah.
So when it comes to discipline and punishment, again, we've said it a while ago, there's different types of punishments you can do. Discipline, just to name off a few, writing lines. You can make it, 50 lines, make them write whatever you want to write. It's not a physical pain. Eventually their hand may cramp, but set a time limit for it. You can make writing lines a harder punishment than what it technically has to be.
Right.
I want you to write 100 lines. This is what I want it to say. You have 5 minutes to do it in. Get started now. And so that just took
It made it very stressful. I just got very stressed for you people.
So being creative with these punishments, again, it's not physical pain. It's not mental psychology. It's not none of that. But it takes something that you would think would be not so much of a punishment, but put a little spin on it.
Yes.
But those are the things, to get creative with when you're doing punishments like this. Not everything has to be physically painful.
Right.
Everything doesn't have to resort to spanking or flogging or orgasm denial or any of that. There is a wide range of stuff that you can do.
I'm glad I'm not a Dom trying to come up with those things.
Right. So as I've grown over the years, I mean, these are the things that I now see. Whereas in the beginning, I was struggling to find punishments. I don't want to do the same punishment every time. So,
right.
But as you grow as a Dom, and then especially having the community that we have, bouncing ideas off each other and going, ooh, I kind of like what you did there. I'm going to take a little bit of this and add my little spin on it and make my own punishment.
Right.
So it grow as a Dom with your punishments. And
here's the thing that we say it a lot, and maybe we're saying it wrong because I'm taking that as, discipline is correcting a
Correcting,
behavior. I
yes.
do this with my
Oh yeah, I
son,
left that part out on the discipline side. My bad. I went straight to punishments.
and punishments are. Uh, so discipline corrects a bad behavior.
Yeah.
So if something has gone bad, but punishments, I feel like punishments are instant repercussions for the things that you've done.
Right.
But you can take punishments and make it negative. You have to be really careful
Oh yeah.
because you're not trying to, I don't know, not trying to be abusive. You're not
Right.
trying, I just think disciplining somebody corrects the behavior while a
Yes.
punishment is basically doing what you want to do to let off steam, letting them know that they did wrong. Like
Right.
it's different, and I would prefer a discipline. Like
Of
your
course you would.
creative disciplines
Right.
are better than a punishment,
Right. Sometimes.
I think.
Yep. Another little spoiler alert on that. Another thought when you talk about punishment being a negative, mental aspect or negative impact. Pay close attention to the next Dom's discussion with Sir Dante
That's going to be in 2 weeks.
in 2
from now.
weeks. One of the punishments he done took a huge negative impact.
Okay.
And lesson learned on that. So spoiler alert, pay attention, be ready for that.
I did not. We recorded separately. So, of course,
Yes.
we were in the other room while the other, like we did the last time. So, I have no idea what you're talking about because I haven't even
Yeah.
listened to it yet.
When you think of it, oh my God, it was a great punishment, but it took a negative impact and it could have went way worse than what it did.
One of the other things I assume with bratting that you're going to be dealing with, and with all submissives, consistency versus intensity.
Mhm.
I think that being consistently correcting behaviors, I guess, consistently correcting behaviors versus just doing it really intensely one time and then,
Right.
ignoring it the next three
No,
times.
the consistency would be the key to that. And that's what builds that structure as well, is being consistent. If it's negotiated and it is allowed to brat, make sure both parties know where that line is.
Yep. That stop line,
And
we still.
that line can't move. You can't allow it to continue one day and then stop way short of it the next day.
Yes.
So there has, if you're going to let some back and forth play, you kind of got to have to know where that line is as far as when a discipline or a punishment is going to come into that.
It has really been interesting having these discussions on something that's kind of outside of my wheelhouse
Mhm.
because it just makes me want to be a brat. How are you going to handle that, Master Nick?
Try it and see.
I'm going to try it because
Try it
that's.
and see. I am ready to sharpen my skills.
All right. So when it works.
Yes.
So when it works, bratting feels like controlled risk within trust.
Mhm.
So you and I have a great relationship. And when I brat with you, it is a controlled risk.
Right.
How far am I going to push it? It's not like you're going to come at me in anger or upset. And I
Right.
still get to let that little bit of, I feel like, this is going to make him that. I feel like when I'm sassing a little bit like that, or I'm being a little bratty, I feel like it's fun. Fun for me and fun for you.
Mhm.
That's the way I feel. I feel like
Yep.
I'm not doing it to make you look bad. I would never do it in
Right.
certain settings. When I do it, it's literally like opening a little box of joy for you.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I feel.
And I feel that way. I do. I enjoy the little bit of back and forth on occasion. It's fun. It's different. It brings a different challenge to me. I love challenges. So yeah, and then depending on how far you want to push, then I get to be creative. What kind of discipline or punishment am I going to dish out for this?
And he especially likes when I brat Sir Dante.
Oh, I love it. I love it when you brat
I
at
did
Sir
not
Dante.
that recording. I did not do any bratting.
You didn't.
I didn't, but he really enjoys when I.
Oh, I love it because Sir Dante will look at me like, you gonna let this? Like, she's picking on you, dude, not me. I'm loving it. So for the Dom, when it works, leadership is about meeting energy, not shutting it down. If again, it could be your dynamic. Now, a little discussion that we did have last night on that is, brat tamers. Something we really haven't talked about in here is a brat tamer. Now, I haven't Googled it, I haven't researched it, but for me, from my perspective, I would think a brat tamer would be a dom that takes a brat and gets them to stop bratting altogether. That is something I do not want.
I think
I mean,
that the meaning,
it's about controlling
you should
it.
Google that, because I believe that the meaning of brat tamer is basically the opposite of brat. Not in terms of I want to take away the behavior, but you've got
it
it's
controlled.
the dom that wants to be with the brat.
Okay.
Because they tame that behavior.
Right.
It's not about it's about that control. Just like the puppies and the handlers.
Right.
It's the same dynamic.
Okay. So then maybe
your brain was thinking,
I should have
yes.
researched it a little bit more, especially since I brought it up. But I didn't.
Your brain
But
just
that was,
went that way.
That was one of the things is I like the bratting, and I would never want it to go completely
right.
away.
I think if you had a brat and you became very comfortable in that dynamic, you could put that as one of your titles as a brat tamer.
All right. Well, then that's going to be the next certification I get.
Who's certifying you, Master Nick?
Whatever brat I can tame.
I love it.
We're going to certify it.
All right. I love it.
All right. So let's look into difference between a true dynamic versus role play. So role play, obviously a scene that is negotiated, that is set up. You can negotiate, how much bratting can be, how much punishments or discipline can be dished out. But in a true dynamic,
yes,
that is where the lines really have to be a little more black and white,
as a little bit more defined.
And I know we've hit on it, but when is bratting allowed? What settings is it allowed? What are your hard limits, your soft limits? I mean, obviously, all that needs to be in role play as well, but it doesn't have to be as extensive in a role play.
I could
scenario.
go into the bathroom right now, put on a cute little schoolgirl skirt and a little bra, and come prancing out and be a brat, and you would enjoy it, and that I wouldn't have to do all again, our relationship is different, so I wouldn't have to negotiate. You'd know me enough to go, oh, she's in that kind of mood.
Right.
And so there would be a whole thing set up just because I put on an outfit. That's role playing.
Right.
That is not a dynamic.
But there would still be some limits that would have to be set as far as what could or couldn't happen.
With most people.
With most people, yes.
we live in the same house.
Yeah,
and
we don't have that.
Maybe I should do that, Master Nick.
You got a schoolgirl outfit?
I could probably put one
Amazon.
together.
Amazon. All right, so let's look at when brats aren't the issue. So if you're not a comfortable dom, if you are not experienced, and if the communication isn't there, and if you're taking any kind of bratting emotionally,
yes,
maybe the brat isn't the problem.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. As soon as you said the word emotionally, my brain clicked into, I could understand that.
Right.
You're taking offense, and it's not, bratting isn't in the correct way. Bratting is not meant to create offense.
Correct.
It's to get that connection with your dom.
And each person brats for different reasons. Maybe you're just wanting attention, or maybe you like a certain punishment and you brat out in hopes to get that certain punishment. There's different reasons as to why a brat would want a brat. So as a dom, understanding what that reasoning is and being able to work that in, depending on what type of brat they are. If they're being, a sweet, sincere, but still being bratty, then give them what they want. But if they're being mean or hateful or just somewhere's out in public doing it, and then you take it away from them, don't give them what they're wanting out of it, instead give them something different, then that gives them something else to think about. Do I want to keep doing this and pushing my limits to not get what I want? But it is funny because, talking about this, my TikTok now is filled with little brat shit, little brat
Is it
memes and
really?
tips and tricks. And
You got to lock the phone in the other room.
no, I like it because I'm reading all of it. So I'm trying to understand it better. So I'm loving it right now. But yeah.
So the boundaries define the power. They're not restricting it. And that's one of the things that within this dynamic, you're not saying this is it. This is what you get to do. When
Right.
you're dealing with a brat, I don't think they have as much control. It comes out. It might flare. I mean, you could don't be disrespectful when we're in public, or, look at the situation.
Right.
If I'm with your mother-in-law, let's not do that. Even if she's kind of into it. Bastard.
Hopefully
Nick.
she is.
Oh, God, I love you so much. I love you so
And then again, going back, negotiation is where real control begins. That is where it starts. That is where you get what you want out of it. That is where you bring to the table what you're needing, what you don't need, what you like, what you don't like. Negotiations are huge, especially when it comes to bratting. It kind of lays out the line, lays out the rules, the boundaries, sets the structure for the dynamic that you're starting in.
What would you recommend, like, if I were a brat? Now, I came to you, told you I was a submissive, and these are the things I need, but I didn't define what kind of submissive I was, because we weren't that deep into BDSM that I understood that there were a number of different dynamics. I
Right.
just felt I'm a submissive and I need this. At a minimum, I'm a sexual submissive. Like, I need it during sex. You're not going to get me to dominate you and be on, like, crack the whip during sex or anything like that with you. But I didn't define it to the point. But what if I were a brat? What if I'm a submissive and I know I'm a brat? How would you take that? How do you think I should approach a dom with that? Right at the beginning? Or do we see the playful interaction? How would you have?
No, I would bring it up if you're new, but you kind of have that little attitude or that little sassiness about you. I think it would be good.
I'm going to get sassy.
I think it would be good to bring it up in the beginning. And again, when you bring it up, maybe you don't know to what extent you're a brat.
Right.
Maybe you don't know how often. I mean, if you're not experienced at it and you've never done it, but it's something that interests you, it's hard to set and say, this is what I will do, this is what I won't do.
Correct.
Because you don't truly understand it yet.
Plus, your interactions with each individual are
It's
different.
going to be different, right?
It doesn't, for me, how I react and interact with you is different than previous relationships.
So I think it would be a talking point.
Okay.
And again, because that gives the dom the opportunity to decide, is that something he even wants, or she? It could be a she. I'm referring to me. It could be something that I'm interested in. Maybe it's something I'm not interested in. So if you mentioned, hey, I like to be sassy, I like to have attitude, I like to talk back. If that's something I'm not looking for, then obviously right there, that's a point where it's probably not best to pursue this dynamic versus getting into it, getting 2 or 3 months down the road, starting to get some kind of emotional connection, and then drop the hammer on it.
I still think that's hard, and I agree with your assessment and reasoning. But I also think that it's very hard maybe for a submissive to speak that openly. I am not the norm sometimes.
Correct.
But what I'm thinking is this. A submissive who is naturally a brat and they have these tendencies, I believe that when they're dating, they still show those tendencies even if they're not fully disclosing it. And I would assume that and hope that they've started learning to pick out people that accept those interactions in small quantities to figure out if that kind of dynamic will work.
Right.
So that's the other way. If you can't verbally tell them.
Now, I'm going to give you another way because this is something that I've just created, 2 weeks ago. There is checklists that you can have. Let's say you're looking for a partner or you're looking for a dynamic. It is something that is good to have. You can get a just a very ordinary, small checklist to give to that person. Let them take it home. Let them sit in their own time. Let them read over it. Let them check off what they're interested in, something that excites them.
Right.
If they read it and they're not sure what it is, Google the definition, read the definition of it, read some examples of it. If they go, ooh, that sounds kind of fun, then yes, I'm interested in it.
And people who don't like paper, you could probably do it through a version of a shared document.
You can, yep.
And then the other thing I was thinking is we did this through FetLife.
Yes, FetLife is a great place to go through, and
because they've got everything under the sun
Oh my God,
listed,
there's so
and
many
whether
kinks.
you're interested in giving, receiving, or both.
Right.
I mean, like it's a way
so there is ways to communicate that
without verbally saying.
physically communicating it to them.
Yep.
But I do believe it is good if you know this going into what could be a dynamic or a relationship. I think it is very important to discuss it as soon as possible
Right.
before you get too far in.
Yes. I understand that. That's what I did the very first night.
Yeah.
Adjusting from obedience focused dynamics to one that involves the bratting, because I'm obedient. You say something, I pretty much stop. It is very, very rare for me to push you past your limits. Although from what you've been saying in these 2 episodes, that would interest you.
Bring it.
Evil.
Bring it.
Really?
And I'm just going to tell you, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I know. He's been like this over the course of our relationship. He's been sharpening his tools that are sitting in his toolbox, just waiting for me to step over that line, which is why I'm a good girl.
Absolutely.
So, but how would that affect a dom? Like you have to create these additional tools.
Mm-hmm.
What are some that you would think it's instant responses to behaviors?
I ain't gonna lie. I got completely sidetracked by the story, and you wanting to put. So re-ask the question, because
adjusting from obedience focus. Because
I'm thinking of you being a brat, and I'm always over sitting there thinking of punishments and disciplines. Like, oh fuck, I can finally do this. So I completely spaced out. I apologize. Re-ask the question, please.
Forget it. Let's move on. No, adjusting from obedience focused dynamics, because I'm an obedient. And you're not looking with a brat for instant obedience. If you had that, it wouldn't make you happy.
Correct.
So as a dom, what kind of things would you have to do different?
Well, I have to think quicker on your feet. And I like that. I enjoy the times where I have to come up with just a split second phrase or a split second discipline or punishment or something. So I like that challenge.
Okay.
And I think that it could possibly open up the doors to a little more creativeness. I've gotten better with the creativeness, setting up scenes, setting up disciplines and punishments. So I think by having the ability to expand on that, I think I could get better in that aspect of it.
So all you brats out there, no, I'm just kidding. Come take one for the team.
Come give it a try. Let's test this out. I really want to. I am curious.
Nope, because you got to set up boundaries first, and you can't do that when somebody just walks up and is a brat to you.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody just walked up and started bratting, I would just have to walk away because
you don't have the dynamic
dynamic. So there would have to be some kind of discussion.
Oh my God.
We'll plan a date night. We'll lay it all out on the table. We'll have some really good food. We'll have some drinks.
You're taken. Sorry. Examples of bratting go wrong. Let's talk about how it can go wrong, because if the bratting goes wrong, maybe we can convince you that it is not necessary. You're taken.
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Twice over.
Twice over. Fuck. Only 2.
Shut the hell up.
Inside joke there for people. Inside joke. So how could bratting go wrong? We're going to go back to you don't have a confident dom who is not emotionally stable and ready to take that challenge. I feel you could break a dom pretty badly
Okay.
by pushing their limits on that. On the flip side of that, to have a dom that is quick-witted, that is really good with the brat behavior, and with an inexperienced brat, I think the brat would wind up getting their feelings hurt.
Oh, yeah. They might not be comfortable in bratting. You could be losing something that they really
Right.
enjoy because you're too quick at
Right.
correcting or.
So, I mean, I see it could go both ways. I can see, it damaging the dom. I can see it damaging the sub. And
What
again,
is
it's
one situation that would be that would versus playful like we do? What is something that could be done that would anger you? Like you would have to step away.
oh shit.
I know I throw this out there, not in our
All right.
discussion.
So, are we talking between me and you?
No, it could be with a secondary.
All right. With a secondary that I would instantly say that I'm done.
Yeah.
First and foremost, with where I'm at right now, still inexperienced.
Inexperienced. Good job.
Country boy coming out. It's unexperienced.
I know.
Trying to learn it and understand it and get better at it. If the brat kept pushing and I got to a point where I was stressed or confused, and said, "Yellow, let's talk about this a second. What's going on here?" But they decided to keep going.
Yep.
That would be an instant goodbye.
Then that means that they don't recognize boundaries and they don't listen
Right.
to safe words, which neither are acceptable in
Right.
in the dynamics that we do and our friends do and our world involves.
Right. Now, sitting here, I don't know that I would ever get to that point. I mean,
Right.
there's a possibility, but I think I would be.
You would be more inclined to get to that point if we were out in public and the pushing got to the point where
Yeah.
we're out in
If
public.
we were out, let's say we was out at the club,
Yes.
and around a lot of
Club
people,
tempted. I'm wearing that too.
and they kept pushing and pushing, and I would take them over to the side,
Correct it.
correct them, and let them. This is not.
It
the
wouldn't
place
even
to
be
do
fun
this.
for you at that point.
Right.
Because if you're doing this for the connection and interaction, then you don't want to push that to the point where the connection isn't fun for
Right.
both of you.
I mean, I would think it would turn from bratting to just being flat out mean,
yeah.
and I don't. That goes along with drama. I don't like drama. I don't like people being mean. So I think that would be an instant goodbye.
I think we've covered a lot of what we wanted to with bratting, and it was very difficult for us to start, but now I'm all aboard. Just watch
Yeah.
what happens next.
And again, 2 weeks ago when we started this, it was a tough discussion. It was trying to come up with an episode on this. We haven't talked about it in depth, but again, neither one of us really experienced in it. So it was doing some research. It was defining some words and trying to lay out scenarios and stuff. But I think it has opened the door to a new possibility for us.
Yes. And he's totally interested in getting that Brat Tamer title from whoever gives those certificates out.
I'm going to get that certification.
I love you so much.
I'm going to be certified.
So I think that we've covered what we could.
Yep.
And I would be interested in watching you become a Brat handler.
Let's do it.
All right. So
applications can be found on our website.
No.
www.thedomlife.com.
You are so funny. All right. You're killing me. I am wearing a Club Tempted shirt.
Yes.
We briefly talked. I mean, we did the whole thing, that whole episode on it, but we didn't have all of the things. Now, mind you, I've printed these out and the letters are bigger than big. Everybody can read it.
Yep.
So some of the things that we're given, we're just going to run down the list.
This is the donations that were donated,
Yes.
and who
And
they were
those,
donated
yeah,
by.
and these are the people that were okay with us discussing it online. There
Yes.
were things that were donated that they did not provide this information.
Correct.
So this was information that was provided.
Right. Do the first 4 or 5 there.
All right. I'm going to do massages by noon. There were 2. X2, right? Times 2.
Yep.
Steamer and cookbook, shop basket, coach purse, whiskey smoker with Jim Beam. All of those came from our lovely Krista and Steve. We love them so much. And she is amazing and was the spearhead of this. And it's helped so much. I bought canes. In case you're wondering what I've purchased, so far I got canes for myself because I'm going to need them.
Yep. Also on the list, we had the Ex Libris photography certificate along with the Triple H photography certificate. Had a couples paint kit from Lovey. Shawnee Golf from 04.
I think that was
04.
Lovey. I love
Lovey.
you so much.
Lovey.
Shawnee Golf from 0400.
0400. Ex Libris also donated one of their wax kits.
Oh my gosh, those are amazing.
Yep.
Tempted membership. We love Tempted. Obviously, this whole thing was done at Tempted, and they have supported us in ways that we cannot even discuss.
Yep. Go ahead.
Decanter set from Blyven Custom Works.
Yep.
Bobby Nichols Golf. He's getting mad at me. Let's see if I can do it again. I mean, I'm not bratting or anything from 0400.
All right, you're done. Stop a minute. Finger floggers from Talon. Paddle and candle from Moonlight Fox.
Fox.
Keep it up.
I'm sorry. Keep going. Oh, my turn?
Yes, your turn to read.
Okay, wait. Baskets from Dark Moon, Flogger, and paddle from Kink Leather.
Okay, you
I'm
stop.
blocking his
Yep,
face.
you stop now. Catch your breath. 3 bottles from Mike. Jim Beam basket from Stephanie. Dixie On shirts from Dusty. Flogger kit from Critical Leather. Hockey tickets from Jenny. Are you ready now?
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Hair extensions ×3 from Hot Mess Jess. If you don't know Hot Mess Jess, you
You're
have
missing
not
out.
been to the club.
You're missing out.
And you need to get a membership and you need to go to the club because Hot Mess Jess is amazing.
Yep, she's a mess. It's in her name.
And an amazing mess. Boudoir Sessions from Captured Moments. Flogger and Thumper from
Bear's Den Gifts.
Yes.
Inversion table from John and Tanya.
We talked about that one. You
Yep.
want one.
I do want one for other reasons. Red Bull cooler from John and Tanya.
We love John and Tanya. We could
And
not have done any of this
Of
without
course,
them.
Krista had to go back on our list. The ice cream maker from Krista and Steve.
The other stuff was donated more from Krista because it's a coach purse and stuff. But this one, she made sure his name got
Yeah,
on there
his name
too.
got on there. He was involved.
He was
whether she
totally
wanted him to or not,
involved.
he was involved with it.
I
So,
love this. I was so thankful for everything. And like I said, my first purchase with some of the money was 2 canes, a walking cane, a walking stick, and a cane because
Yep.
I'm going to have issues
for
that I'll need it.
long distance, uneven pavements, sidewalks, any of that, you need that for stability. So it was a good purchase. So, yep, I agree. All right. But yeah, we wanted to run through that list. What I will do is I will take this list, I will post it to the episode on our website pertaining to that episode. I will have all of this in case any
wherever
of our
there's
listeners,
a company name, we can maybe potentially link those.
we
I'm
can
not,
try. But
I don't know.
You can, if you're interested in anything, you can check out the people that donated. I'm sure you can search for them on the internet, be able to find them. Again, huge shout out to everybody who donated. It was a huge success. Absolutely went over great. We loved it. Can't talk about it enough.
Absolutely.
It was great. But with that, we are out of time for today.
Yep. And we already know next week it's
So
going to be
next week, submissive stories. The topic is collars. So it will be a very interesting. I can't wait to hear it and listen to it for myself.
because they didn't get to hear ours
They
either.
have not. And then the week after, Dom discussions where the Doms talk about what collars mean to them. And some really good stories have come out of that. I don't know that we really hit the bullet points on what we were supposed to talk about, but I
You
do
guys
got to
are
say
so funny.
it was a hell of a conversation. So
We hit the majority.
yeah, I don't know that we did. Till next time, you all have a great week. Make sure and come back next week. A lot more topics to come,
Yes.
a lot more fun to come, and a lot more about our community. See you all.
Please follow, like, and share our podcast.
Make sure to visit thedomlife.com, where you can find pictures and other details about the Dom Life podcast. And through the Contact Us button, you can ask questions or provide recommendations for future episodes.
We want to explore your kink too.
Be sure to check out upcoming events to see where our adventures are taking us and our photo gallery to where we've been.
Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you had fun listening and learning with us.
Till next time, keep calm and remember your safe word.
Red, red, red.